It's important for you to know your sign rules when working with square roots. So let's look at this sign here. Let's look at the times rule. So when you have a square root like this one over here with the times in it, you can actually rewrite them separately. You can say square root 81 times square root 16. Okay, let me just take my scribbles away so you can see it properly. So all we did was break it up into square root of 81 times square root of 16 over there. Okay, it just makes it simpler for your brain to solve things when it can see things properly. Now we know the square root of 81 is 9 times the square root of 16 is 4. So that has immediately simplified it for us. And 9 times 4 is 36. Easy. So that's your times rule. When you see a times in the square root, you can separate them into two separate ones, work out the square roots, multiply them, and get the answer. Let's look at divide next. Okay, divide. So you can see we have a divide going on here. It's a fraction. We know it's 25 divided into 64. The divide line is the fraction line. And all of it is underneath this square root. It looks very complex. So let's declutter it with the divide rule. The divide rule says you can rewrite it as a square root on the top, over the fraction line, and another square root underneath. So we have got now the square root of 64 over the square root of 25. Square root of 64 is 8, square root of 25 is 5. And we can just put it into a mixed number at the end. Okay, so for divide, you are welcome to break them up to the top and the bottom of the numerator and the denominator of the fraction. That's your divide rule. Your plus rule is a little bit more complex. Remember, plus and minus are usually complicated little things in fractions and in algebra. We have to always pay special attention. So for our plus, this is what we're going to do. This is not going to look like that. It's not legal for plus. It's legal for times, but not for plus. If we were to do this, we'd get the wrong answer. If we were to say the square root of 16, which is 4, plus the square root of 9, which is 3, 4 plus 3 is equal to 7, we would get 7. But it's not going to work out like that. We first have to solve it all inside the square root. So we say to ourselves, what's 16 plus 9? 16 plus 9 is 25. So now we have the square root of 25. That's our next step there. And we know the square root of 25 is 5. So it was easy. We got the answer 5, the legal way, by first adding those up. Instead of getting 7, the illegal way, by breaking them up. Plus, you first solve the plus inside the box, and then you do your square root, and then you get your answer. Minus, also, complex little sign. Always pay attention to minus. So we would be tempted to do that, wouldn't we? Because that's what we learned with our times earlier on. This is another complex sign where we first got to solve what's inside there before you solve the square root. If we were to do it this way, where it's not equal to 100, square root of 100 minus 64, we would get it as 10 minus 8, which is 2. That would have been our answer, which is wrong. So let's do it the proper way. We're not going to split it up. We're going to keep it under the square root sign and rather solve 100 minus 64. That is 36. So now we do know the answer to that. It's 6, because the square root of 36 is 6. So we've got another answer. We've got 6 instead of 2, which was the wrong answer. Okay, so I hope you understand this a bit better. These rules you have to practice. You have to go find some examples to do, apply these rules, and you'll get your answers right. Okay, please press subscribe. I share valuable rules on my channel, make you into strong students. Rules you might have missed in earlier grades, you're going to learn here. All your rules come together like a board game in maths. You need to use them all, otherwise you get caught out. Right, see you in the next lecture.